Hello, my name's Ken Knight. I'm from Princess Motor Yacht Sales. Delighted to bring you a great video today. We're looking at a brand new Princess F58. We looked at this early in the year in January at Dusseldorf upon launch. This is the first stock boat that we've had available. The 58 is just under 60 foot overall, 59.8 inches in length, or 18.2 meters if you're thinking in metric. It offers so much, and this is a really high spec example. Like I say, she's physically in stock, available for purchase. But let's go and look at her in more detail. So as we step on the swim platform here, straight away we've got an evolution in the Princess design. We've got a wet bar fitted on this boat, so we've got a sink, a grill, and a cool box as well. And they've got this really nice seating area, so this provides a great connection with the water. It's a very different use of space than we've seen on other Princesses. We've also got a nice spot there that you can put fenders, or if you've got a sea bob, there's a drawer option where you can have fitted as well, so it's really easy storage. Again, this will fold up, so if you're in normal underway mode, you can get your tender on. Usual drop platform on this boat, so high-low platform. We've got the pre-rig tender chocks, 450 kilo load capacity, safe working load on this platform. So what that means, you can get a Williams 325 on in real comfort. You might want to stretch to a 345, but it will be a bit of a push with a passerelle as well. On the port side of the boat, we've got our shore power connection. We've got a letterbox style passerelle, 3.5 meters in length, so lots of reach to get you to the dock when you're stern to mooring. Starboard side, very discreet shower here if you come out the water from swimming or water sports. One thing I really like about this boat is the crew accommodation. It is really, really good. Now, the reason I like this so much is the access. You've got steps down, very easy to go down into the space rather than vertical access that you've got on many boats. Now, I appreciate most owners of this boat will probably be owner-operators, but it gives you a flexibility. You could take a skipper if you want to. It could be overflow guest accommodation. It's got its own heads. It's appointed in exactly the same finish that you get in the guest accommodation, but alternatively, you could take the mattress off and you can use its fantastic storage. So just close that crew cabin up, and then we're up into familiar space. This cockpit, very well appointed, much like you get in all the other Princesses, that consistency through the range. This boat's set up for med mooring, so we've got our electric winches here with foot controls, and then we've got a third helm station on this boat. So very easy, pulls down, nice easy control of the MAN engines. We'll touch on those a little bit later. We've got our thruster controls here. It's worth just focusing on that for a minute. So we've got E-Vision Sniper thrusters on this boat, both bow and stern. So they're variable speeds, so you can really feather the boat into the berth. Gives you very, very precise control. But the E-thrusters give you a much, much longer run time than you normally associate with traditional electric thrusters. Brushless motors enable that to happen. So on a boat of this size, you know, you can get a reasonable amount of windage, but you have got the right tools to deal with it. Obviously, great vision here down the side deck, or if you're coming in stern to in the berth. Cockpit is lovely, opens up like we had maybe on the predecessor, the F55. But let's go and explore the flybridge a little bit further. Wow, stepping up to this flybridge, it just reminds you how generous this space is. Really nice separate zones, lots of elbow space. If you've got a family on board, everyone can find a comfortable place to enjoy the boat from up here. Fantastic view everywhere you look. Usual Princess quality on display. This boat's fitted with the Allure pack, so we've got lots of additional detailing. We get this very nice oyster grey paintwork, just making the boat pop everywhere. We've got the quilting in the seats. That's part of the Allure pack. And then we've got this fantastic helm station, very familiar with a Princess. Really great driving position, good amount of protection from the windscreen, from the wind, and just a very, very nice place to helm a boat from. All the instruments are countersunk, that attention to detail. It's an uncluttered space, but it does give you everything that you want. So you've got triple MFDs. You're probably going to use that smaller Raymarine Axiom for your engine data, which is electronic. We've got our thrusters, throttles, VHF, trim tabs, searchlight, remote control for the Raymarine screens, little charging station, and then a few operational buttons here. We can do our anchoring from up here. We control the electric roof that we've got on this boat. This hardtop is a really significant option on this boat. So we've got it specified. This has got the opening option, and then we've got a sun awning aft as well. So it just affords you a lot of flexibility as to how you use the boat. I like this space. There's an insert that will go in here, and you can put a cushion so you can lounge and relax and spread out, but still be part of the action when you're underway. You can have two people on that helm station, obviously a pilot and co-pilot. So it makes it very involving. And then as we move back into the boat, we're more into the sort of dining space. We've got refrigeration here behind the helm. So really big site there for drinks. We've got our controls there for our blind and some lighting. This really is a dining space that we've got in the middle of the boat. Leaves can obviously fold in. You can put some director's chairs on the boat, and you can then, accommodate lots of people, 8-10 people in lots of comfort. And then where we've located the wet bar is really nice. It allows any cooking smells to go out the back of the boat. You're not cooking at the top of the steps as you get on many FLYBRIDGE. Just makes people feel safer. Lots of refrigeration, storage, and then sink as well. I really like this layout. It's a great configuration. I think many owners are going to enjoy this. It's going to be a great place to entertain and enjoy the boat. I think we're going to look at the foredecks. There's a few surprises there as well. So stepping up into the side decks here, grab rails exactly where you want them. Nice gauge stainless steel. Got this really distinctive blue styling on this boat. It really makes the boat pop. Huge glazing, which we'll explore when we're inside having a look out later on. But then we step up onto this glorious foredeck. New generation for Princess. So we've got the sunbeds laid out in the traditional sense, but we've got a little cool box nestled in between, but we can move the seating, use it either way. We can have it aft facing like we've got here. So maybe you want to have a little sundowner in the evening, want some social seating that's opposing each other. We can grab a drink just out the cooler. What a great place. A couple of practical things on this model. We've got an upgraded 32 kilo stainless steel anchor, and then those of you who've had boats before will appreciate this really handy locker that we've got here on the port side. It's a wing locker, and what that does, really deep storage, runs under the seating there, but you can slide your fenders in there. You're not having to take them down the stern of the boat. Going down side decks carrying things, it's never ideal at the best of times, but very easy. Very practical, really. I mean, it's what Princess is about. It's about elegance, it's about style, but it's not compromising the practical use of the boat. What makes the product so good. Let's go and explore the interior. Stepping into the interior of the F58, it's a lovely experience. Lovely galley on the port side here, little step down. This U-shaped return is especially helpful. Gives us storage underneath there. Really large fridge, freezer underneath. Really not going to struggle with any refrigeration space on this boat. Oven, 4-burner hob above with extraction. A little bit of storage there. Sink, dishwasher. So we've got all the modern conveniences you expect of this boat. But what I really like is this dinette area on this boat. It's really generous. Lots of spaces to dine on board. But maybe someone wakes up early, want to have some breakfast without waking anyone else up. It's a lovely place to do it. We've got the warmth of being inside. We've got this beautiful hard planked wooden floor. So you have a croissant, can easily just flick a few crumbs out. But if we don't want this being quite as imposing on the boat, we can fold it up, still get to use it. Got cup holders, grab rails when you're underway. Just a very practical space. And on note of practicality, this area is finished in this leatherette. So again, a little bit easier to clean, very much a dining area. And then we make this transition as we go up into the carpet, into the main saloon, very much lounging. It's huge. It's a really generous space here. Headroom, the width of the boat, the beam that we've got in it is fantastic. These amazing large windows. It's obviously down to you to provide the vista, but wherever you go in the world, you're going to get the most out of it. Big high-low TV that will pop up there. We've got a name audio package on this boat, very significant upgrade. It's all around the boat, so the AV is really fantastic, very, very discreet. We've got more refrigeration here, so like I say, not going to run out of refrigeration. We've got it on the foredeck. We've got 2 fridges on the FLYBRIDGE. We've got a fridge in the galley there. We've got another fridge in the saloon. And then we're greeted by this fantastic social seating here. This big wrap of seating, really deep in the seat, very generous, can easily swallow up 6 people, 8 people. We've got this tub chair opposite as well. Again, part of the new generation that's coming into the Princess design language. First seen on the S72, now incorporating this F58. It just means that you're not all in line. You are really opposing each other. Have a nice chat, wedge yourself in a corner, spread out, relax, and then you've got your dining, which is separated. And for me, that moves it into a different class of boat. Real success on this boat, that design. So as we move over to the helm station, now I appreciate most owners are going to do their driving of the boat from the flybridge. Why wouldn't you, when you've got a great commanding view that affords you from the flybridge? But in the event that you're having to drive the boat from the lower helm station, longer passage, nighttime, weather, you've got everything that you expect. You know, it's a mirror image of what we've got on the flybridge. Attention to detail. Everything is this beautiful countersunk, well thought out. Got a very nice floating walnut inlay here for our throttles. And I haven't seen this before. It's a nice little spot for a phone or something loose, so they've got nothing rattling around. We've got our triple MFDs. Again, you're probably going to use the 2 larger screens for your navigation, radar, and your charts, and then maybe that middle one for your engine data is how I would set the boat up. So we've touched on the E-Vision thrusters that we've got fitted to this boat. What we haven't talked about is the big MAN engines that we've got fitted. So we've got twin V8s. You can get this boat 1,000 horsepower. We've elected to go for the 1200s. We've got a larger engine option. This example is really highly spec'd. It's going to provide scintillating performance. Princess always want to build a boat with good performance and good seakeeping, and the 58 is carrying on that legacy of the F55 that came before. Fantastic to have. Something else this boat's got, another big option, which you can't immediately see from the instrumentation, is a Seakeeper gyro. So it's a Seakeeper 18 that's fitted. For those of you who know, most people do now with gyros, you know, as you're getting to that 60 foot plus, it's really an expectation you'll have some type of stabilization on board, all internal, going to give you particularly strong stability when you're at anchor, but obviously is going to aid you significantly when you're underway as well. Really key option. This boat's got it. It's controlled through the MFDs. That's why you get this very, very clean dashboard layout. I think we're going to have a look at the lower accommodation and explore that a little further. Descending down the steps here to our lower deck where our accommodation is situated. Just on the way down, we've got this new switch panel so we can isolate things on the boat from a power perspective. We've got our domestic and engine starts. We can fire and stop the generator. And then we've got this new touch screen, gives us tank levels. I mean, they will be repeated at the MFD there for your fuel, for example, but just gives you lots of information on the boat. So on the F58, it's 3 double cabins on this boat. It affords you great accommodation on board. Obviously, we've got that crew cabin. In addition to that, you could use that as guests because it is really well appointed. The 3rd cabin on this boat is configured as twins, but we've got the optional extra. You touch a button, electronically, those berths will join together. So it affords you maximum flexibility. It's also got an AV package in every single cabin. It's a really big option on this boat. So we've got a name audio system in there with a TV and Vogel speakers. But I'd like to show you around this VIP cabin, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I think it's an absolute triumph, this cabin, both in terms of the finishing and the design. I mean, from a design perspective, I always think boat design, good boat design, is a game of inches. So when you're in the berth, you can naturally see out of the windows, affording you a lovely view, but obviously that window line still has been executed extremely well on the outside. So just marrying those two tensions. Obviously you can look out, but they're tinted windows. You've got some natural privacy. You've also got blinds, opening portholes. Needless to say, you've got air conditioning, which is reverse cycle for this cabin. If you do want to naturally ventilate it, you can also do so. The finish in this cabin is exquisite. Lots of detailing, lots of lovely textures, just really well working together. It just feels like the fit and finish has gone up a notch, which I didn't think was really possible, but I think they've really pulled out all the stops for this model. Again, the AV package is evident. We've got Vogel speakers with a name audio system and this whopping great TV, 43-inch TV. Must be no more than about 8 foot away, 9 foot away from it. So if you want to sneak away for watch a movie in the evening, great place to do that, to take a little bit of refuge. Storage wherever we can get it. So big hanging locker here, lined and lit on the starboard side. These overhead lockers, grey match as Princesses always are, very discreet openings. More storage underneath the berth here. And then as we go over onto the port side, we've got our ensuite heads compartment, which is accessible for the VIP. Alternatively, it's a Jack and Jill for the day head or accessible for that third cabin. Fitted out like the rest of the boat, beautiful attention to detail, storage wherever it can be achieved. Got this nice little element down the bottom here of sort of backlit storage area, great for sort of spare towels, and then a fantastically large shower compartment. Yeah, great space. Let's explore the master. It's a really important point on this boat. I think what it's been designed around is for a longer duration. It allows an owner to spend more time on board. And as you spend more time on board, storage is inevitably a really critical issue. We've got a very large storage locker here that goes under the steps there. Now, traditionally on the previous model, the F55, that's where a washing machine or dryer would go. Not on this boat. We fitted this one with a washer dryer because we think that optimizes the space, but you have got this big storage above as well, which is great. You're just not going to struggle with storage on this boat. And then a very small but critical consideration, you can have 3 director's chairs stored in here. So you no longer have to store them down in an engine room or down in a crew cabin. Easy to get out. You can use them obviously on the aft deck. You can use them around the dinette table. You can use them on the flybridge. Really handy things to have on the boat. Just help optimize the storage on board. And that theme of storage continues in the master. And you're stepping into a master cabin of a 60-foot Princess. It's absolutely beautiful. It really is. It doesn't disappoint. You're going to have high expectations. And to my mind, it delivers big amounts of light coming into the boat. The fit and finish, like I say, does feel like this has been borrowed from a Y-class yacht. There's more attention to the detail than I've seen on an F-class before. We've got a whopping great TV, a big berth that hasn't been tapered. Storage all the way down this starboard side. It's flared, so you're working with the size of the boat and just gives you this lead into this fantastic walk-in wardrobes. We've got them both sides of the boat. You know, if you're on board for several weeks at a time, you're not going to run out of space to keep clothing. And then on the port side, we've got the heads compartment. It's behind a bulkhead. To me, that is borrowed from a larger class of yacht. We've got this natural sound deadening that you get by putting the heads compartment behind a bulkhead before we get to our engine room. We walk in, we've got a very large shower compartment, appointed beautifully. And then just to finish it off in this cabin, we've got this lovely seating area. So we can relax down here, don't have to be in the bed. Maybe we want to pause in the morning or the evening, have a conversation. It's a lovely place to enjoy the boat. Just gives you, again, more flexibility. I think what we'll do is we'll head upstairs and round things off. I really hope you enjoyed our broker walkthrough tour today of the Princess F58. It's always a pleasure to bring these videos to you. There are some great options on this boat I absolutely love. I mean, natural comparisons are going to be made with the former F55, which is no longer available. It is a slightly larger boat, the 58, but with that slightly larger canvas, some great new innovations have been incorporated. I love that easier access to that crew accommodation. I can just see how usable that is for owners, to be able to get items in or out. That evolution of design of the aft deck there down on the swim platform with that barbecue grill just gives flexibility as to how you use the boat. On the flybridge, moving that galley to the back of the boat, not grilling at the top of the steps, smells going out the back of the boat, makes a lot of sense to me. We've got that latest generation of foredeck there, again all around versatility, not just a sun pad. And then when we come into the boat, I really like this dinette area. It separates, you know, eating from lounging, and to me that's a huge benefit for many owners. And then as we go down below, that really great storage place, you know, in that lobby area, allows for longer term, you know, time on board. Director's chairs, a natural place to stow them. What a great idea. That storage on the starboard side of the master, that walk-in wardrobe, partners are bound to enjoy that. And then obviously a bulkhead that separates the heads compartment from the cabin. To me, again, it's moving to a different class of yachts. There's so much to take on board with this model. This example, as I mentioned, is a high specification example. It is available. I mean, the major options that we've got fitted, the larger 1200 horsepower MANs, that hardtop roof, that Seakeeper 18 gyro stabilisation, really significant options, teak deck throughout, the big AV package. I mean, the list goes on. And if you want to look at that in more detail, please do look at our website, which is princess.co.uk, or don't hesitate to contact us to get a full specification. Thanks very much for your time.